can never be intentional until you are deliberate. Yes, you can never be intentional until you are deliberate. And you see, there comes a point in your journey where you must be deliberate. Great evening, guys. Thank you so much for joining us again on another exciting upgrade live with Mr. Upgrade. Yes, I am Mr. Upgrade, and I'm super excited to join you here today on another interesting conversation on the Upgrade Live with Mr. Upgrade. You see, on the Upgrade Live with Mr. Upgrade, we get to do this every Sundays, basically from 7 p.m. through to 8 p.m. I'll basically get to do four things. Yes, four things we get to do. Number one, we get to take your questions. So if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to send in your questions and we'll gladly take them. Number two, we get to share with you the Upgrade Mastery tip for the week. And for this week, the Upgrade Mastery tip is deliberate. Yes, you heard that right, deliberate. Number three, we get to connect, network, and bond because we live in a world where it's important and it's critical that we get to always connect. The world is a global village today, and it's important that we get to connect, network, and bond regardless of where we are in the globe, right? And then the fourth thing that we get to do here is that we get to have fun. We're strong believers of the fact that if learning is not fun, there is no learning at all. Yes, so we get to have fun while we learn and while we do the Upgrade Live with Mr. Upgrade. So I'm super excited for this conversation, super pumped, super ready, because I know that today would be a turning point in your life, knowing that you are about to experience a shift and a transformation that will help you on your journey. Like we always say, that there's always more on the Upgrade side of life. So we welcome you again to the Upgrade side of life. And if this is your first time of joining us, we're super excited to have you join us. Please let us know in the comment that this is your first time, and the team will reach out to you with our special gift for our first timers. So once again, welcome. This is the Upgrade Live with Mr. Upgrade, and we are super excited to have you join us today. We're super excited for the conversation we're going to be having today, and we can't wait to get into that conversation proper. Now, also, on the Upgrade Live with Mr. Upgrade, we like to always begin with our basic 5 questions. Now, we know you have some questions that you may want to ask as the conversation progresses, but while we wait for you to send in your questions, remember, there are no right or wrong questions, they are just questions. And like we often say, that questions are more important than answers. So we look forward to taking your questions. But while we wait for your questions to come in, we already have our basic 5 questions that help us to begin the conversation. Now, these 5 questions help us to lay the foundation for the conversation so that you can understand where the conversation is heading and where we want you to get to by the time we are done with the conversation. So are you ready? Let's begin. Question number 1. Yes, the first question. What is deliberate? When you hear the word deliberate, what is it that comes to your mind? What actually does it resonate for you when you hear the word deliberate? You know, people always say, oh, you have to be deliberate. You have to be deliberate. What actually is deliberate? All right, because that's what we're going to be talking about today on this conversation. What exactly is deliberate? You know, last time we talked about celebrate, right? And we say how important it is for you to celebrate and do what it is that you get to do, right? We say appreciate. That was the conversation. Why it's important for you to appreciate whatever it is that you do. You must learn to appreciate. And you see, one of the things that help you to appreciate is when you become deliberate. I get in this. So you see, every of our conversation has a way it links to the previous conversation. So when we say, oh, you need to appreciate, one thing that helps you to appreciate that we appreciative is how deliberate you are. Are you getting this? So now, what exactly is deliberate? What comes to your mind when you hear the word deliberate? What does it resonate for you when you hear the word deliberate? I'll tell you. You see, deliberate, it is the intentional decision to do something. That's it. Full stop. Period. deliberate, it is the intentional decision to do something. One thing that would surprise you in this conversation is the fact that a lot of people are deliberate, but they think that they are not. I love this part. While I was putting this together, it dawned on me how a lot of people are deliberate, but they don't even know that they are deliberate. They don't realize how deliberate they are. And this really amazes me. This blows my mind. How can you be deliberate and not know that you are deliberate? I'll tell you as we make progress in this conversation why people do that and why they think that they are not deliberate. And yet they know that they are deliberate. It's something that really amazes me. Are you getting this? It's something that really amazes me that people do, but I'm going to share it with you. We always like to make you stay ahead of the pack, stay ahead of the game. Are you getting this? So you stay ahead, right? When you stay ahead, you don't lose your head. Very important, very critical. So you stay ahead of the pack, you stay ahead of the game. Are you getting this? Is this making sense? Okay. So let's make progress on this conversation, right? Let's make progress on this conversation. So to be deliberate, follow me closely. I said that to be deliberate, it is the intentional decision to do something. The intentional decision to do something. That is what it means to be deliberate. So whenever you hear the word deliberate, just know this is the intentional decision to do something. Now, question number 2. Who's responsible for deliberate? When you say, okay, some things are done deliberately, who's responsible for deliberate? You are responsible. So you cannot blame anyone or anything for your own intentional decision to do something. So you are deliberate. You are the one that is responsible to be deliberate. You are responsible for deliberate. When things happen the way they happened, you are responsible for it. It's amazing how people get to blame other people for what they are responsible for. I remember one of the novels we read back in the day in literature is the book The Gods Are Not to Blame by Olarotimi. Now, that book is quite interesting. In case you didn't read that book, please go and try and read it. Quite interesting book, quite an interesting storyline. And it helps buttress this point of deliberate that I'm going to share with you today, right? Very deliberate. You are responsible for deliberate. Question number 3, why deliberate? Why do we have to talk about deliberate? Why? Why is it any important? Why is it a conversation we should be talking about? Why deliberate? I'll tell you 3 reasons why deliberate. Number 1 is intentional. Deliberate is intentional. Whether you like it or not, deliberate is intentional. That's why we define deliberate as the intentional decision to do something. So why deliberate is intentional. Number 2, it's a decision. Something that is deliberate, someone decided to do it. So we must understand that there's a huge difference between something being a mistake and something being deliberate. That's why we say that many times people deliberately do things and then put it under the disguise of mistake. It's not a mistake, it was deliberate. Are you getting this? So you must learn to separate what is a mistake and what is deliberate. Because deliberate is a decision, it's not a mistake. It's not a mistake. And understanding this would help you in your journey with people. Because sometimes people do things to you and they say it's a mistake. No, it was a decision. It was deliberate. It wasn't a mistake. It was not a mistake. It was deliberate. Third reason why deliberate is to get things done. Remember, we said deliberate is the intentional decision to do something. Why deliberate is to get things done. You may not like what is done, but whoever is getting things done is deliberate. You may not like what is done, but whoever is getting things done is deliberate. That's why this conversation is eye-opening. So you see beyond the smoke screen. You see beyond the smoke screen. There are things that people are doing that is because they want to get things done. It's deliberate. It's not a mistake. So 3 reasons why deliberate. Number 1 is intentional. Number 2 is a decision. And number 3, it's to get things done. It's to get things done. This is making sense for you, right? Now, question number 4. What are the benefits of deliberate? What do you stand to gain when things are deliberate? What are the benefits of deliberate? I'll share with you 3 benefits of deliberate, right? 3 benefits. Number 1, you know what you're doing. Anything that's deliberate, you know what you're doing. You know, you've always heard people use these words with kids. They will say, oh, the child doesn't know what he's doing. That is applicable to a child. Right? A child that has not developed their brains, their senses, that is applicable to a child. But see, anyone who's not a child, anyone who's above age 3 and above is no longer termed a child, right? It may be small, but not a child, right? Whatever they do at that time, they know what they are doing. When kids are crying so they can get the attention of their parents, they know what they are doing. That tears, that scream is deliberate to get attention. One of the benefits of deliberate is that people know what they are doing. It is not a mistake. It is not coincidence. They are deliberate and they know what they are doing. See, understanding this changes the narrative for you. So sometimes you need to ask people, is this deliberate or is this a mistake? Because see, for whatever is deliberate, people know what they are doing. Don't be fooled to think that, oh, they don't know what they are doing. You know, when Jesus said on the cross, Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they are doing. Yes. Why he said that was because they did not know the ultimate plan for what they were doing. That's what scripture said later, that had they known, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. So in the grand scheme of things, they didn't know what they were doing. But they knew they were crucifying Jesus. But they didn't know what it meant in the grand scheme of things. Are you getting this? So even in that state, they were still deliberate. That's why they chose Barabbas over him. And in choosing Barabbas over Christ, they were showing us the work of substitution. So even when they did not seemingly know what they were doing, they knew what they were doing. They chose Barabbas. I say crucify Jesus. So one of the benefits of deliberate is that people know what they are doing. Never believe that they don't know what they are doing. They are deliberate and they know what they are doing. Are you getting this? Second benefit of deliberate is there's a definitive outcome. The outcome is well defined. The result they want to achieve is well defined. That's why they are deliberate. Are you getting it? So the person who is deliberate is willing to make sacrifices for the now, for the results in the future. That's why scripture tells us about Christ, that for the joy that was set ahead, he endured the cross and despised the shame. There's a definitive outcome. Now he's seated with God at the right hand of glory. That's the definitive outcome. And now God has given him a name that is above all names. That's the definitive outcome. So he was deliberate to go through the death of the cross for the definitive outcome. He will become sons. He has a name that's above all names. Are you getting this? So anyone who's deliberate knows the definitive outcome. You know, it's not just for now. The outcome is definitive. Is this making sense for you? There's the definitive outcome for whoever is deliberate. The third benefit of deliberate is it reduces mistake. See, I told us earlier, sometimes you may need to ask people, is this a mistake or is this deliberate? But see, the one who's deliberate do not make mistakes, because even that mistake was deliberate. Even what eventually turns out to look like a mistake was deliberate. I'm going to show you examples of some things that were deliberate that even you may have thought this was a mistake. No, it was not a mistake. It was deliberate. So 3 benefits of deliberate. Number 1, you know what you're doing. Number 2, there's a definitive outcome. And number 3, it reduces your mistakes. So it's deliberate. Question number 5. When is the best time to be deliberate? When is the best time for you to be deliberate? When is the best time for you to be deliberate? The last best time for you to be deliberate about anything was yesterday. Yes. The next best time for you to be deliberate is now. Now is the best time for you to be deliberate. Now. Not tomorrow, not later, not next year, not next month. Now is the next best time for you to be deliberate. Now, the question is, are you ready to be deliberate? That's a question you need to ask yourself. Are you ready to be deliberate? Because believe it or not, you must be deliberate about your life. Are you getting this? Is this making sense? Okay. Now, you see, I'd like you to know this. Never assume that what people do is a mistake when they are deliberate. Are you getting this? Never assume that what people do is a mistake when they are deliberate. It's very important. Don't assume that what they do is a mistake when they are deliberate. I'm going to get back to this. But before then, let's get into deliberate itself. Let's break it down so that you can understand it, right? Let's break this down so you can truly understand this. Let's break it down. Deliberate, right? D-E-L-I-B-E-R-A-T-E, deliberate, right? Deliberate. The D in deliberate is a decision. Remember, we told you in our definition that deliberate is the intentional decision to do something. The intentional decision to do something. So what it means to be deliberate, it means that it is a decision. Anything that is deliberate is a decision. See, it is not a mistake. It is not a coincidence. It is not a happenstance or a circumstance. Deliberate is a decision. It's a decision. And the earlier you begin to realize this, the better for you to understand that this is a decision. When something is deliberate, it is a decision. And like Anthony Robbins will always say, decision is the ultimate power. Right? Your life does not change on intentions. Your life changes by decision. And deliberate starts with a decision. I get it. So the D in deliberate is decision. Decision. The E in deliberate is effort. Whatever decision you make, you will put in the effort. So the E, the first E in deliberate is effort. There's the effort you commit to whatever you are deliberate about. Effort. You know, they jokingly say E for effort. You can know if somebody is interested in you or deliberate about you by the effort they put towards you. Are you getting this? You can know that somebody is deliberate about you by the effort that they put towards you. So when someone is deliberate, you see it in the effort put in. So the first E in deliberate is effort. You can fake a lot of things. You can't fake effort. You see it. It's either there or it's not there. Because effort is deliberate. Effort is deliberate. Effort is not a mistake. It's deliberate. Again, people show up for you is deliberate. It's not a mistake. It's not a mistake. It's part of the effort they put in to show to you that they value you. That's why they show up. So the E, the first E in deliberate is effort. What's the effort they are putting in? That effort shows how deliberate they are or not. Right? The L in deliberate is like. See, it's hard to believe, but it's the truth. People will be deliberate to the degree to which they like whatever it is they are deliberate about. Are you getting this? People will be deliberate to the degree to which they like whatever they are deliberate about. There's this likeness that people have for what they are deliberate about. They like it. And you see, at a certain degree, like is very important. Like is very important. You know, there's a popular saying back in the day, I don't like what I hate. Like is important. When people are deliberate, it shows that they like the thing that they are deliberate about. They like it. And then like is a strong emotion. They like it. That's why they are deliberate about it, because they like it. Whatever you don't like, you will never be deliberate about it. Are you getting this? Remember, we said deliberate is the intentional decision to get things done. Whatever you don't like, you will not be deliberate about it. So the reason why you are deliberate about it is because you like it. Don't deceive yourself. You like it. That's why. So the L in deliberate is like. So when someone likes something, they will be deliberate about that thing. And when someone doesn't like something, they will not be deliberate about that thing. So you see it in what they like. So those who are deliberate about football, they like a particular club. Shout out to Arsenal, all right, who just won the Premier League. Because Arsenal fans, they like Arsenal. That's why they've been loyal and faithful for 22 years, even when they haven't won anything. They like it. They like the club. Are you getting this? So you are deliberate about whatever it is that you like. Don't kid yourself. Are you getting it? You are deliberate about whatever it is that you like. So the L in deliberate is like. It's like. The I in deliberate is intentional. Whenever you're deliberate about a thing, you are intentional about that thing. That's why that definition will always reference that definition. Besides, that definition is our upgrade definition. You won't see it anywhere else. It is the intentional decision to get something done. That's deliberate. The intentional decision to get something done. So you see, in deliberate, it's intentional. Good or bad is intentional. That's why I was saying you must understand how to discern between what is a mistake and what is deliberate, because it is intentional. Deliberate is intentional. Whether it is a good thing or a bad thing, deliberate is intentional. How people treat you is intentional. Are you getting this? So the I in deliberate is intentional. It's intentional. Don't kid yourself. It's intentional. Right? The B in deliberate is bold. The one who is deliberate is bold. Is bold. There's a certain level of boldness you have for being deliberate. You know, David told Goliath, I will take off your head from your shoulders today. And scripture says, and there was no sword in David's hand. David was bold. Goliath was head above shoulders to David. In fact, he even said, David, am I a dog that you are sending this one to me? Am I a dog? But David told Goliath, I will take off your head from your shoulder today. And yet there was no sword in David's hand. But the one who's deliberate is bold. The B in deliberate is boldness. You're bold. One who's deliberate is not timid, is bold. That's why scripture says that the righteous, they are as bold as a lion, which means the righteous is deliberate. The righteous is deliberate. They're as bold as a lion. Are you getting this? Is this making sense? So you have to be deliberate. And the one who's deliberate is bold. Is bold. The B in deliberate is bold. The R in deliberate, the E before the R in deliberate wait, beg your pardon, let me get this right. So we don't yeah, the E before the deliberate the E before the deliberate is example. Example. Right? Example. Deliberate. The second E is example. You see, when someone is deliberate, he's showing an example. Take it or leave it, showing you an example. It's very important. It's an example. Right? Whatever anyone is doing, when they are deliberate, they are showing you an example, they're showing you a pattern, they're showing you a clue. It's an example. And I often say this to people that you are either the example or you are the bad sample. The E in deliberate, the second E is example. So you have to be mindful of the examples because those examples are deliberate. What you're doing is deliberate. It's not a mistake, it's deliberate. So it's an example. So be mindful of the example because it's deliberate. Right? And then the arrow in deliberate is responsible. The arrow is responsible. The one who's deliberate is responsible. It takes responsibility. It doesn't leave things to chance. It takes responsibility. He knows what he's doing. They are responsible. Even if what they are doing is wrong, they are responsible for it. They know what they are doing. Right? The arrow is responsible. You cannot blame somebody else for something you are responsible for. You are deliberate. Own it. Are you getting this? The A in deliberate is aware. The one who's deliberate is aware. You see, you don't cover up for them and say, no, they are not aware. No, they are fully aware. They are fully aware. They know what they are doing. The one who's deliberate, they are aware. The people said, give us Barabbas, crucify Jesus. They were fully aware. They were fully aware. The one who's deliberate, they have awareness. They are aware of what they are doing. Make no mistake about it. They are aware of what they are doing. There's awareness for the one who's deliberate. The T in deliberate is tenacious. The one who's deliberate is tenacious. They are tenacious. They go about it with tenacity. They know what they are doing. They are tenacious. They put in their effort into it. They put in their commitment into it. They put in their zeal into it. They are tenacious. Paul, Saul, before he became Paul, was tenacious about persecuting Christians. He was deliberate. He was bringing them out from their houses and putting them in prison. He was deliberate. He was tenacious with it. He took permission to go to Damascus before he encountered the light. He was tenacious. The one who is deliberate is tenacious. He was there. He gathered the clothes for the men who stole Stephen to death. He was tenacious. He had tenacity in what he was doing. The one who is deliberate is tenacious. And finally, the last E in deliberate is excellence. The one who's deliberate is excellent about it. They go the extra mile. They pay attention to details. They are excellent about it. You may think the excellence is not as it should be, but they're excellent about it. That's why they're deliberate. They know what they're doing. They're going the extra mile. They know what they're doing. See, there's one thing I want you to take away from this conversation. Anything that is deliberate, they know what they are doing. It's not a mistake. They know what they are doing. So this is what deliberate is. Deliberate. Deliberate. It's a decision, it's effort, there's like, there's intentional, there's bold, there's example, there's responsible, there's aware, there's tenacious, there's excellence. This, my friend, this is deliberate. And this is what we want you to understand at this point in your journey, that it's important that you become deliberate. Stop saying it's a mistake. No, it's deliberate. Own it as deliberate and stop putting the guise of mistake. It's not a mistake, it's deliberate. Right? And this will change your perspective when you do things, knowing that this I am doing is not a mistake, it's deliberate. And because it's not a mistake, I must do what I know I should be doing. Because the people who claim it's a mistake, they are trying to run from the responsibility that what they did was deliberate. So they hide under the plea that is a mistake. No, it's not a mistake. It's deliberate. It's not a mistake. It's deliberate. Now, I told us earlier that never assume that what people do is a mistake when they are deliberate. Never assume what people do is a mistake when they are deliberate. And I said that people know what they are doing. It was never a mistake. It was actually deliberate. Did you get that? People know what exactly they are doing. It was never a mistake. It was actually deliberate. I'll give you a case scenario, right? In Genesis chapter 4, when Cain and Abel went to offer sacrifices to the Lord, right? Cain and Abel's offering, they were not a mistake. They were deliberate. Cain brought of the fruits of the ground. Abel brought from the animals that he kept. Both offerings were not a mistake. They were deliberate. They were not a mistake. They were deliberate. And you see, Cain going ahead to kill Abel was not a mistake. It was deliberate. Because before Cain went ahead to kill Abel, God came to Cain. When God saw that Cain was upset that the sacrifice was rejected, God came to him, Genesis chapter 4, verse 6. God came to him and said, "If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted?" And then he said, "Sin lies at the door." And after that conversation, Cain deceived his brother Abel to the fields and he killed him. So see, even if Cain deceived Abel to lure him to the field to kill him, that thing that Cain did was not a mistake, it was deliberate. Killing Abel was deliberate, it was not a mistake. That's why I say that when people do what they do, it is not a mistake, it is deliberate. When they have been caught in what they have done, they not try to hide under the guise that it's a mistake. It was never a mistake, it was deliberate. Are you getting this? It was never a mistake, it was deliberate. So sometimes when people do some things towards you, you should sit back and ask yourself, is this a mistake or is this deliberate? Now, you don't need to ask them, you need to ask yourself. Because you see, what people do many times is not a mistake, it is deliberate. And when you understand this, it will change how you receive the things that people do to you. Knowing that it is not a mistake, that is deliberate. Are you getting this? Is this making sense? Now, see this, guys. There are three things about deliberate that you need to be conversant with. Three things about deliberate. Number one is awareness. Number two is intentional. And number three is not a mistake. Once you know these three things, it saves you a lot of headaches and heartaches. Because deliberate, there's awareness, is intentional, it's not a mistake. Now, whatever people do to you, look at it from the fact that they are aware they are doing it to you, they are intentional that they are doing it to you, and it's not a mistake that they are doing it to you. They are deliberate. So don't say, oh, they didn't reach out, they didn't call, they didn't regard me, they didn't respect me, it was a mistake. No. They are aware that they are disrespecting you. They are intentional about disrespecting you. It's not a mistake that they are disrespecting you. It's all deliberate. For good or for bad, it's deliberate. Now, understanding this just helps you mentally, psychologically, emotionally, and otherwise, knowing that they know what they are doing is not a mistake. They are aware of what they are doing and they are intentional about what they are doing. So that makes it deliberate. Like I say, know this and know peace. Like, know this and know peace. Because people are deliberate. It's not a mistake. So, three things about deliberate. Number one, awareness. Number two, intentional. And number three, it's not a mistake. They can lie all they like, but it's not a mistake. They know exactly what they are doing. It's not a mistake. Two traits of deliberate. Right? Two traits of deliberate. Whenever you see these two traits, know that this is something that is deliberate. There's plan, there's execution. These are two traits of deliberate. Plan, execution. Anything that is deliberate, it has a plan and it is executed. So it's not a mistake. Again, it's not a mistake. It has a plan and it's executed. Now, this is not a good thing to say, but you see, even rape is not a mistake. It has a plan and it was executed. Kidnap is not a mistake. It has a plan, it was executed. So it's deliberate. Traits about deliberate is the plan and there's execution. Becoming who you want to be is not a mistake. There's a plan and it's executed. It's deliberate. So you see, even on your becoming, it's not a mistake. It's deliberate. There's a plan and there's execution. Knowing this changes everything for you. Knowing that some things that are happening to you is not a mistake. There's a plan and there's the execution. Graduating with the first class while you're in the uni is deliberate. It's not a mistake. There's a plan and there's execution. Are you getting this? Who you are becoming on your journey is not a mistake. There's a plan and there's execution. So, two traits about deliberate: plan, execution. Are you getting this? Is this making sense? The one goal of deliberate is do something. That's the goal of deliberate. Do something. The goal of deliberate is to do something. Whether it's a good thing, it's a bad thing, but you do something. And realizing this changes a lot of things for you. Knowing that when it comes to deliberate, you do something. The goal of deliberate is to do something. Not to make excuses, it's not to complain, it's to do something. That's the goal. That's the goal, to do something. That is the goal. Are you getting this? Is this making sense? So the goal of deliberate is do something. Is do something. See, I'll tell you this and I'll tell you for free. Progress, right? Progress is deliberate. When you're making progress in life, it is deliberate. It is not a mistake. It's not a mistake. Your progress in life is deliberate. It's not a mistake. Don't kid yourself there's a mistake. It's not a mistake. It is deliberate. And you must see this. Reaction is spontaneous. People can spontaneously react. But you see, response is deliberate. Reaction is spontaneous. I can just react spontaneously. But you see, response is deliberate. Response is deliberate. Reaction is spontaneous. But you see, response is deliberate. And you see, you must be deliberate about 5 things in your life. 5 key areas you must be deliberate about. Number 1, your spirituality. You must be deliberate about it. You must be deliberate about it. Number 2, your mentality. You must be deliberate about it. Number 3, your finances. You must be deliberate about it. Number 4, your emotions and your relationships. You must be deliberate about it. You must. Number 5, your physicality. You must be deliberate about it. These are 5 key areas of your life that you must be deliberate about. Your spirituality, your mentality, your finances, your emotions and relationships, and your physicality. These are 5 key areas in your life that you must be deliberate. You can't leave it to chance. You must be deliberate. You can't be spontaneous about it. You must be deliberate about it. And you see this, guys. This is very critical. What is stopping you from being deliberate? I want you to answer that question. Now, this question is not rhetorical. It's a very critical question. What is stopping you from being deliberate? From all that I have shared so far, what do you think is stopping you from being deliberate? I'd like to see it in the comments, right? Type in the comment. I'd like to know whatever it is that you know that is stopping you from being deliberate. And you see, believe it or not, to be deliberate is a choice. Yes, to be deliberate is a choice. You made the choice to be deliberate. It's a choice. Literally, it's a choice. You made the choice to be deliberate. You see, when we show up here every Sundays, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., every Friday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., it's a choice. And we are deliberate about it. It's a choice. So believe it or not, deliberate is a choice. And people will always back up their choice with their decisions and actions because it's a choice. Are you getting this? People will always back up their choice with their decisions and actions. That's why we say it's not a mistake. It is deliberate. Because deliberate is a choice. It's a choice. And you see, you will always know those who are deliberate towards you. You see it in their actions, you see it in their dispositions, you hear it in their conversation. You will always know those who are deliberate towards you. You can't miss it. You can't miss it. You will always know. When people are deliberate towards you, it is visible to the blind. It is audible to the deaf. It is felt by the numb. When people are deliberate towards you, you will always know that this person is deliberate towards me. You will know. It's intentional. You will know. And when people are not deliberate towards you, you will also know. See, except you are living in a fool's paradise, except you are living in delusion, you will know when people are not deliberate towards you. You will know. And you need to stop deceiving yourself. You know that this person is not deliberate towards you. You know. Yes, you may have hope that someday they will, but presently you know that they are not deliberate towards you. You know. Because see, when people are deliberate, it shows. And you know. Are you getting this? When people are deliberate, it shows and you know. It's not something that is hidden. It shows, it's glaring. And you also know this person is deliberate. See, when it comes to deliberate, look out for three things. Right? When it comes to deliberate, look out for these three things. Number one, look out for actions and not words. People can say whatever they want to say, but their actions are the reason why their words mean nothing. You're getting this? Action proof why words mean nothing. People can say whatever they like to say, but you see, their actions are what shows whether they are deliberate or not. Right? So, when it comes to deliberate, look out for actions, not words. That's number one. Number two, look out for patterns, not behavior. Somebody can do something, a one-off behavior, but you see, there is a pattern that people follow that you know that this is deliberate. This pattern is deliberate. So you look out for pattern and not behavior. A behavior can be spontaneous. Pattern is a response. Again, this behavior can be a reaction, but pattern is a response. So look out for patterns and not behavior. Somebody can show up in a good behavior one day, but the pattern is what you should look out for. Because once is a mistake, twice is a choice, thrice is a pattern. Look out for patterns and not behavior. When it comes to deliberate, the third thing to look out for culture and not trend. Right? Trends can go viral. Culture is a way of life. Look out for culture and not trends. So these are three things to look out for when it comes to deliberate. Look out for actions and not words. Look out for patterns and not behaviors. Look out for culture and not trends. These are the things you look out for when it comes to deliberate. It is action over words, patterns over behavior, culture over trend. Look out for these things when it comes to deliberate. And you see, guys, If you fail to be deliberate about your life, you have no one to blame. Remember the book I told us earlier about? Ola wrote to me, The Gods Are Not to Blame. If you fail to be deliberate about your life, you have no one to blame. Yes, you have no one to blame because it's totally your responsibility to be deliberate about your life. You will have no one to blame when you fail to be deliberate about your life. And you see, not every mistake is actually a mistake. Some mistakes are actually deliberate. I love this. Not every mistake is a mistake. Some mistakes are actually deliberate. Cain killing Abel was not a mistake, it was deliberate. Are you getting this? Not every mistake is actually a mistake. Some mistakes are deliberate. See, Gehazi did not mistakenly go and ask Naaman for gifts. It wasn't a mistake, it was deliberate. Are you getting this? Not every mistake is a mistake. Some mistakes are deliberate. Achan did not mistakenly hide some gold bars and wrappers from Jericho in his tent. After the instruction was given that nobody should take anything from Jericho because the things in Jericho were cursed, he deliberately took some gold bars, some wrappers, and hid them in his tent. Not every mistake is a mistake. Some mistakes are deliberate. Achan did not mistakenly go and hide gold bars and wrappers in his tent. It was deliberate. Are you getting this? The young prophet did not mistakenly listen to the old prophet. It was deliberate. And the old prophet did not come to give wrong prophecy to the young prophet by mistake. It was deliberate. Because when the young prophet was killed, he said, look at the young prophet who did not listen to the instruction that God gave him. Not every mistake is a mistake. Some mistakes are deliberate. Delilah did not mistakenly ask Samson for the secret of his strength. It was deliberate. Are you getting this? So you must rid yourself of that mindset that, oh, it's a mistake. No, some mistakes are deliberate. Delilah did not mistakenly ask Samson for the secret of his strength 3 different times. It wasn't a mistake, it was deliberate. Are you getting this? It's not a mistake. Judas did not mistakenly betray Jesus. In fact, Judas thought it was smart that after betraying Jesus, Jesus will set himself free. So he will now make money from what he got from the money paid to him for the betrayal. Judas betraying Jesus was not a mistake. It was deliberate. It was deliberate. Peter denying Jesus 3 times before the cock crow. It was not a mistake. It was deliberate. Are you getting this? So you must understand what is a mistake and what is deliberate. Because you see, people know what they are doing. Never assume it was a mistake. People know what they are doing. Never assume that it was a mistake. They know what they are doing. You see these examples I just listed? It was not a mistake. They know what they were doing. So people know what they are doing. Never assume it is a mistake. See, a mistake is what you didn't know. Are you getting this? A mistake is what you did not know. It is deliberate when you know and you still went ahead to do it. Are you getting this? A mistake is what you did not know. It is deliberate when you know, but you still went ahead and you did it. Is this making sense for you? Are you learning something in this conversation? Are you beginning to see how people have, before now, deceived you for something they did that was deliberate and they tell you it was a mistake? People know what they are doing. Hmm. But you see, you have to be brutally honest with yourself. Is this a mistake or is this deliberate? So, for the things that you even do, you have to be brutally honest with yourself. Is this a mistake or is this deliberate? You must arrive at that point in your journey where you can ask yourself in brutal honesty, is this a mistake or is this deliberate? You must ask yourself that. And it is not a rhetorical question, it demands an answer. It's a very practical question. Is this a mistake or is this deliberate? Now, as much as you want to ask that of people, you need to ask that of yourself. What I am doing, is this a mistake or is this deliberate? And if you tell yourself the truth, you'll be shocked at your answer. You'll be shocked. See, things people do that are deliberate. Let me tell you a few things that people do that are deliberate. Number one, how they treat you is not a mistake, it's deliberate. Number two, the sacrifices they make for you is not a mistake, it's deliberate. Yes. Number three, the opportunities they bring your way is not a mistake, it's deliberate. These are three simple ways that you know the things that people do to you that are deliberate. Number one, how they treat you is not a mistake, it is deliberate. Number two, the sacrifices they make for you is not a mistake, it is deliberate. Number three, the opportunities they bring to you is not a mistake, it is deliberate. Are you getting this? Is this making sense? See, nobody use you mistakenly. They use you deliberately. You know, in the last conversation we had on Friday on the Upgrade Mastery Just For You, we talked about learn to say no. In that conversation, we shared three simple ways to learn to say no. We said number one, restrict access. Number two, reduce communication. Number three, let them know that they are using you. Right? Let them know. Now, what we are saying now is nobody use you mistakenly. And I've often told you that the reason why people can use you is because you are useful. But the truth of the matter is this: nobody use you mistakenly. They use you deliberately. They use you deliberately. When people are using you, they are deliberate about using you. They know what they are gaining by using you. They are deliberate. It's not a mistake. It's not a mistake. Yes, they use you because they are useful, but it's not a mistake. They are deliberate about using you. Are you getting this? Is this making sense? So you must realize that nobody use you mistakenly. They use you deliberately. And you see, this is why you must learn to say no. Just in case you missed that conversation, please go and watch it on the channel. You'll see the topic, learn to say no. You must learn to say no. Because you're learning to say no is also deliberate. It's not a mistake. I see what I'm trying to explain to you. Things are not mistakes. They are deliberate. They are deliberate. Good or bad. They are not mistakes. They are deliberate. And you see, how do you now become more deliberate? How do you become more deliberate? I'll tell you four simple ways for you to become more deliberate. Number one, honor. If you want to be more deliberate, you must now learn to honor people. You must now become a person of honor. It helps you to become more deliberate. You honor people. Number two, value. When you value people, it helps you to become more deliberate about them because of the value you place on them. Number three, respect. When you respect people, it helps you to be deliberate about them. And number four, service. When you serve people, it helps you to be deliberate about them. These are four simple ways for you to become more deliberate: honor, value, respect, and service. It helps you to be more deliberate. Are you getting this? Is this making sense? Now, you see, many things are deliberate, but they try to hide under the guise of mistake. That's why I say you must learn to be discerning. There are many things that are deliberate, but they try to hide it under the guise of mistake. It is not a mistake, it is deliberate. Never forget that. It is not a mistake, it is deliberate. And many things try to hide under the guise of mistake when they are deliberate. And as we begin to wrap this up, guys, you see, one of the boldest and the bravest question you will ever ask is this deliberate or is this a mistake? This is one of the boldest and the bravest question you will ever ask. Is this deliberate or is this a mistake? That's a question you should ask. When people do things to you, sometimes you should be bold and be brave to ask them, is this deliberate or is this a mistake? And whatever answer they give you, you'll be able to actually know if they're telling you the truth or they're lying to you. Because I've shown you how to know what is deliberate. You look at actions, not words. You look at patterns, not behavior. You look at culture, not trend. But you must get to that point where you are brave and you are bold to ask, is this deliberate or is this a mistake? You must ask. So, guys, this is it. This is our conversation for the now. And we hope that this conversation has helped you to even become more intentional about your life and to hold other people more accountable about their own lives. Because the truth is this, many things are not a mistake, they are deliberate. And knowing this helps you to spot and discern the mistake from what is deliberate. So, guys, this is it. This is where we draw the curtain for our conversation today. And like we always tell you, three things will happen for you in this new week. Three things will happen for you in this new week. Number one, increased voice of God. Number two, open heavens over your life. Number three, more angelic activities in all that you do. Yes. Remember, guys, do well to share this with your friends, your family, your loved ones, and even your enemies. Tell them so they get to like, to subscribe, and to share so they don't miss out on exciting conversations that we get to have on the Upgrade Live with Mr. Upgrade every Sundays from 7 p.m. through to 8 p.m. It's always an exciting conversation to be here. And I want to thank you for watching till the very end. Yes, now we will start and then don't finish. For you to start and get to the end, that shows how deliberate you are. And you must keep at it. I commend you for how deliberate you are to stay through to the end. And like we always say, guys, there's always more on the upgrade side of life. And that's why we encourage you that you leave good behind so that you can upgrade. And what better way for you to upgrade than for you to become deliberate? Yes, it's not a mistake. It is actually deliberate. And you must be deliberate about your life. It is your life. You must be deliberate about it. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you.